Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, we're back here at Ramsey Mazda in Urbandale, Iowa, and it's warmed up since we did the Mazda 3 review. It's 12 degrees today with only a 15-mile-an-hour wind chill 4. But we're braving the elements to bring you this brand new 2025 Mazda CX-30. This is the S preferred trim with all-wheel drive. Jet black mica is the color. So we're going to go through the CX-30, this subcompact crossover, and you can let me know if you're looking at a Hyundai Kona or a Chevy Trax, Chevy Trailblazer, something that size, the new Nissan Kicks. Would this Mazda CX-30 be the one you would buy? You can let me know as we go through the vehicle. So let's dig in. Front end of the CX-30, the jet black mica. We do have LED headlights up front. And turn signals down below on the front bumper looking good. The Mazda girl right in the middle with the badge. Some chrome trim to bling things up a little bit. As we come around to our wheel and tire setup, we have an 18-inch machined aluminum alloy wheel. Mazda badge on the center cap. Now these wheels are wrapped in Bridgestone Turanza all-season tires. 215 on the width, a 55 series sidewall 18s, all four corners, all-wheel drive. Moving on out, the jet black with the light gray wheels and some trim around the windows. As we come on in, we're going to go with a gloss black side view mirror, LED turn signals, color match front and rear door handle. Up top, left side fuel filler. Then up top, we're going to go with aluminum roof rails and a standard sunroof. Rear end of the CX-30, we do have a small roof spoiler coming off the top, the wiper down below on the glass. We do have LED taillights with the turn signals, Mazda badge in the middle, CX-30 all-wheel drive on the left, Skyactiv G on the right, and a functional dual exhaust. We're under the hood of this CX-30 and we have Mazda's 2.5-liter inline four-cylinder engine, made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission, 191 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque, MPGs 26 in the city, 33 on the highway, 29 combined. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87, so you can run this on regular unleaded gas. Before we get into the interior, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much? Well, here we go. Base price for the 25 Mazda CX-30 S Preferred is $28,940. Now, this vehicle has looks like one option on it, which is an extra $75 for the wheel locks. Once we add those in, and a destination and delivery charge of $1,420 from Mazda's Salamanca, Mexico assembly plant, we have a total vehicle MSRP from the factory of $30,435. So let's check out the interior. Starting with the driver door panel, we'll move on in. We really have the same door panel, almost the same as the Mazda 3 we saw last video. Soft touch up top. Then we have the soft touch in here, chrome door handle. We have a nice soft armrest with flat black on the switchgear, even though the trim around it is gloss. Good sized door pocket as well. Standard audio system into the footbox, nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator. With the preferred trim, you do get the driver power seat with power lumbar, but the front passenger remains manual. And then we have black leatherette with some light gray cross stitch, nice soft bolstering, feels good, nice headrest, fairly plain and understated, but it does look clean. Front passenger door panel, same action as the driver. If you hear a whooshing noise in the background, I have the heat on in here because it's only 12 degrees out. We have soft touch up here with the stitching, more soft touch. 2 heat and air vents with some chrome trim, and then down below we have a nice large glove box. Infotainment system, we have Mazda's 8.8-inch infotainment system, wired CarPlay, Android Auto, non-touch screen. So you operate the system from the dial down below. And I asked Mazda about this because they really haven't embraced touchscreen technology in their infotainment systems. And their argument to me has been they're hesitant about doing it because they believe that using a touchscreen is more distracting when you're driving than using the dial. So they're keeping the dial for safety. You let me know what you think about that argument. Are you on the side of the way Mazda's thinking about this and sticking with the dial? Or do you think there's an argument to be made that the dial could also be distracting when you're going down the road? You let me know in the comments. But as we work the dial, you have your entertainment navigation. Now this doesn't have built-in nav, so all the maps and nav will come through your phone once you have it plugged in. We have information, we have entertainment. We can go to our music right here. We can check that out. We're going to have AM, FM, and our Bluetooth music. We do not have Sirius XM in here. Then we can go back to home, and then you can go to your information settings. You can go in there and you can look at your fuel efficiency, vehicle statuses, and then we can go back to home, and then we can come down to our general settings, and that's where you can go in and set up your sound settings, your safety settings, your connectivity settings like Bluetooth in your phone and all that jazz, as well as your vehicle settings. And you can go check out, set up your lighting, exterior, interior lighting, your rain sensing wipers. All that stuff is in this system. Now, as we go to reverse, we do have a shrunken down backup camera. Looks good, but I'm not seeing any trajectory lines, but it is nice and clear. Then we go back to park and we're good to go. Now, as we come on down further, we have a dual climate, which I do like. We have 3-stage heated seats, which work great because I have them on right now for the driver and the front passenger. Push button start. Down further, you do have an area to lie your phone right in here if you would like. And then we have 2 cup holders. We have the Mazda key fob right here. Looks nice. And on the side, you have lock, unlock, panic button. Nice weight. Coming on down, here's the gear shift with the gator that's going to take you through this 6-speed automatic transmission. We can be in regular mode, or we can go to sport mode to give us a more enthusiastic feeling drive. We have electric emergency brake, auto vehicle. Again, here's the dial that works the infotainment system. There is your volume control and favorites. And then down here, we do have a nice soft armrest. It does slide back and forth depending on where your arm is going to land. So I do like that. And then as we open that up, we do have an area for storage and 2 USB-Cs. Mazda steering wheel, we have a nice leather wrap wheel, nice 10 and 2 notches, feels good. Mazda badge on the horn button. We do have some chrome trim to lift the wheel up a bit. Round bottom wheel, I have plenty of room to get in and out of this CX-30. Very spacious passenger cockpit. Flat black on the switchgear, where you're going to have your telephone commands, voice commands, info, which is going to work the part of the dash which is digital, volume, source. On the right, adaptive cruise. Not going to see any paddles, but on the left side, you can adjust your headlights and, of course, your directionals. And then on the right, front and rear wiper. Down over here on the left, you can turn on and off your safety suite controls. And then we do have, what we have here is our multi-terrain select, downhill control assist, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is right there. And then down further here, you have 2 memory seat settings for the driver, and they're not on the door. They're here on the bottom left of the dash. Interesting position for that. And then we do have a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. As we move on in, there is the analog digital combo where we have analog gauges for your tachometer, fuel level, and coolant temperature. And then you have the digital gauge in the center. If we go to sport mode, it just pops on sport right there, and then you go back to normal, it goes back to normal. And then you have additional information you can toggle through in your info button, and that's going to give you like your instant MPGs and that sort of thing. So plain and simple, nice and easy. Overhead console is pretty big. We have a spot for your shades right here. If you want your LED dome lighting to come on and off when you open and close the door, just leave everything off. So when you open the door, lighting comes on. Close the door, lighting will dim out. Now, here is the control for the sunroof. So the shade is manual. So we just have to push it back with our hands. And then one touch back, hold it in a second, wind buffer comes up, window goes back, one touch back. And then if you push the button up towards the roof of the vehicle, you get the tilt. Then you just have to push closed again, and it closes right up. Bring the shade back with your hand, and you're good to go. Framed rear view mirror with dimming function. Then we have our sun visor with vanity and an LED light. Does it slide? No, but you do have an extension. Getting in the back of the CX-30, but first, the rear door panel. Here we go. We're going to go hard black plastic instead of soft touch, but then everything else remains the same as the front door panel. I have the seat set for my driving position, so we'll hop on in. The subcompact crossover. You really kind of have to duck and twist to get in. It is kind of tight back here, and the rear seats sit higher up than the front seats do. But once I'm in, I got enough room for my head, shoulders, and knees at 5'11", but barely with my seat set where I need to drive. We go down here to leatherette. There's no seat pocket behind the driver. There is one behind the front passenger. In the back here, we have 2 heat and air vents right there. And if you need to plug in, you'll need to plug in with USB-Cs that are inside the center console. And then in the back here, we do have the same leatherette, all black with the black cross stitch, but the seats very soft, very comfortable. And then our center armrest, bring that down, super soft, 2 cup holders. So overall, for the subcompact, it is pretty comfortable. It's going to be a little bit tight if you're a taller person getting in, but once you're in, you're going to feel pretty good back here. And these seats are really nice and comfortable on the old bum. Getting in the cargo area of the CX-30, manual tailgate. So you come to the back, and right above the license plate, there's a button. You push it and lift up. Nice and light, right up there. Now with the rear seats up, 20.2 cubic feet of cargo space. As we move on in, here are the CX-30 carpeted floor mats that came with the vehicle. Underneath here, we do have a jack tools and a spare, so thank you Mazda for the spare. We do have some tie downs. We do have some LED lighting back here. And to get the rear seats down, boom, you just have to push the button right on top of the seat and reach through and do that. And then throw them forward. Push the button down, and throw them forward. And now, with the rear seats down, we're looking at 45.2 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of this CX-30. Mazda window sticker, here we go, 25 CX-30 jet black, standard equipment. Options. Additional option charge is the wheel locks are $75, $34.35 MSRP. Fuel economy estimates. Safety ratings by the government. Made by Mazda in Mexico. Take this baby up for a spin. All right, we are driving down the road in this 25 CX-30, and right off the bat, great visibility out of all the glass in the vehicle. Nice large side view mirrors, which I like. Blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, all that jazz in this CX-30 for safety. The suspension feels well damped. I mean, these Midwest roads in the winter, they're a little bit bumpy. They got salt, they got all sorts of junk on them. Vehicle's maintaining good traction in this cold weather. It's well damped, no squeaks, no rattles, no vibrations coming from the chassis into my fanny, so that's good as well. Well-built vehicle all the way around. The panel gaps feel good. Everything just feels good about this. The steering, nice and tight, no issues. Nice and light though. Easy to turn, but it's very direct. So when you want it to go somewhere, you just have to turn the wheel and this baby's going to respond immediately. And that's just the driving dynamics Mazda puts in their vehicles. They've always been known as a good driving vehicle, a good handling vehicle, and they still are. There's no doubt about that. They feel good overall. Feel real good. And you know what? We'll take off, see how the 6-speed automatic shifts. And it gets up to speed. I mean, it's not a turbocharged engine, so you don't have the most power. Obviously, you can move up in trims and get the turbocharged 2.5 in the CX-30, but then you're going to be spending somewhere between 35 and 40 for a CX-30, and that might not make financial sense for you to do that. So if you want to stay in the $30,000 range, and this is where this is, it's about $30,500. You get some nice stuff in here, right? You do have your CarPlay, Android Auto, even though it's wired, but you have USB connectivity for that, dual climate. You got heated seats, which are really good. They really warm you up really, really fast, so I do like that since I've been using it. You got a sport mode. You have your infotainment system. You have your HD radio, AM, FM. You got your Bluetooth music. So it's got a lot of good things that you need to live with a car on a daily basis, but it may not have everything you may want. And then, you know, you got to adjust your thinking by what you need versus what you may want. Obviously, you may want the turbo engine, but at the price point you'd have to pay to get one, it may make more sense to save the money and go with the naturally aspirated engine, which isn't a slouch at 191 horsepower. It really isn't. Takes off pretty good. Gets you up to speed, no problem. And the other thing that's really good about this vehicle, the turning radius on the Mazda 3 is 17.4 feet, which is really tight for an all-wheel drive SUV. Now this is a really narrow road, so we're not going to get there, but now when we go to reverse, you can see how the backup camera looks from a distance. Let me know what you think, if that's big enough. But very responsive on the takeoff. And you know, Mazda used to, I don't know if they still do those commercials. I haven't seen one in a while with the zoom, zoom, zoom. Well, it certainly zoom, zoom, zooms. No question about that. Feels good, handles well. But you let me know what you think. If you're in the market for the subcompact crossover and you've been looking around and there's plenty to choose from, would you go ahead and put your money down on a 25 CX-30 like you see here? If you would, what kind of trim would you go with? Are you going to move down in trims to save some money? Or are you going to go up to that top trim action to get the turbo engine and all the nice amenities? You'd let me know. Or are you going to go somewhere else with your hard-earned money? Put that in the comments and let me know as well. But I do want to thank Ramsey Mazda here in Urbandale, Iowa, for allowing the channel access to this brand new 2025 Mazda CX-30 S preferred trim with all-wheel drive and jet black mica for review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.